All right. Hi, everyone. I'm David, and this is our first episode of our new podcast, Color Coded, brought to you by the Nova LGBTQI Plus Club. We are very excited to be here. I'm your host for today, and I brought two lovely guests, Dimi and Chiara. Please say hello.
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 Perfect. And, before starting with today's episode, I'm just going to introduce the podcast for a bit so you guys know what to expect from this kind of content. So this is an idea we had a few months ago, and we've been working on it very hard. It's been a whole roller coaster to get here today. But our goal with this podcast is to help the LGBTQI plus community at Nova feel more visible and help people be more aware about the issues that affect the community. We know that it's a very important part of the fight of the LGBTQI plus community for their rights, so we want to take part in it. You can expect any kind of topics from us. Some of them will be more lightheaded, other ones will be more serious. Today I'm here with the founders of the club, and this is, since it's our first episode, it's kind of a symbolic episode. I'm going to ask them to tell us about the story of how they came up with the idea of the club, how they met, the challenges that they faced throughout this year, really, because it's already been a year.
Yeah.
We can get into it right away. So you guys can tell me, how did you guys meet and how did you guys decide to form this club?
So Dimi and me, we actually met in the first week at Nova. It was high COVID times, but still, we met with masks in our first class. And this class was kind of challenging because we just had to talk about our fears, open up to the community, to the class and in general. And Dimi just said that he wanted to found this club. And as I heard about this idea, I was like, okay, I want to join this. And I messaged him and I was like, Dimi, I heard that you want to do it. Should we do it together? And he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it together. And then we started with the idea. We thought okay, how we gonna do it? Because it's still political and you have to go through some stages as Nova to really found a club. And eventually in January we founded this club and recruited our first members.
We're basically all in this room. Yeah, I think there's not a lot to add to it. It was just, I think, a nice thing that I found someone who wants to do it with me. Because I think I would have done it by myself, but even having Chiara by my side, it's always it was very good of a support, and it's always easier to go through things not alone. So yeah, I think she put it in a nutshell, pretty much.
Cute. But you guys felt like this club was necessary at Nova, right? You arrived here and you thought, we need this. Can you explain a bit about it?
To be completely honest, I actually had the idea already before coming to Nova, when I applied already and got accepted, because to all the other business schools in Europe, when you look at, LSE or London Business School, HEC in Paris, there are so many renowned business schools that actually have those kind of communities or community student clubs or these community represented on campus, and I was quite disappointed that Nova did not at this point, especially with their values and their vision and mission and all these things. So for me, it was clear when I start, I really want to do something in that direction. And then this course, as Chiara said, I mentioned that it just fit perfectly, that I then found kind of a purpose or a reason to really go about it. Because usually I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do it, but then you need this moment of I'm gonna take care of it now, I'm gonna start it, definitely had it before that because it was for sure missing, and pretty glad, as I said, met Chiara and we started this.
Yeah, when I came here I thought this club would be already existing actually. I was super surprised that it wasn't like this. So
All right. And do you think that the community at Nova was welcoming to the club? Was it a very hard process to get the club done, or was it something that went like a breeze?
I mean, you just have to go through the process, which is easy. But I mean, the Nova SU has to like accept the club and the idea behind it, that it gives value to the community, so it adds value to the community of Nova. I mean, that was very clear to our club, right? So they had to accept it, or they accepted it really easily. No, I felt like we had lots of applications when we started recruiting it and like starting our Instagram and stuff. So I felt the feedback was very open, and I thought we were welcomed.
I think, yeah, in a total it was good, because we've been told like, oh yeah, it has been so necessary to found this club, and finally some students came to the front and like created it and stuff. But as what I felt throughout like now 2 semesters of running this with Chiara is that there is support being portrayed or communicated, but it's then internally more like you have to look for it, which on the one hand, like balancing, you don't want a super privileged position as a student club, because there are plenty of other student clubs that are also taking care of matters that need to be addressable, don't need to be addressed. That's a different discussion. But at the same time, really emphasizing a highly important and really underrated topic that definitely is influencing still a lot of students, I think, on campus. So in total, yes, welcomed and supported as I think it should be. No.
All right.
But I think, to be fair, I think we're getting there, but no.
Yeah, I think it was. We had some hard times at the beginning, because we were relying on Nova as the institution Nova. And I mean, I think actually we don't know if other clubs had the same issues as we did. Yeah. So it can be, but I think as the SDGs are becoming more and more important for Nova and around the world, I think these topics will be addressed more and more stressed. So I think
yes, hopefully
we're on a good way. Yeah.
Hopefully, yes. Tell me, guys. So you just said that the first semester was not the easiest, and it was also because it was during quarantine, right? How was that for you guys to like found a club in the middle of a pandemic when everyone was stuck at home?
I mean, the process, like we started in our first semester, so fall 2020. So at that time, there was still some presence on campus. But the moment we started operating, like obviously everything went into lockdown. And we also founded this club to kind of like create a safe space for people, queer people, LGBTQ people, to come together and feel comfortable. And I think it's like always kind of like connected with a physical presence. That's at least from my understanding, or was at this point. And putting everything online and making like events. We did some get-togethers and like making games and all these things. I think it's rather challenging, even though we're all super young, like digital natives. It's just hard to really create a sense of belonging and community, and just being a safe space and being welcoming and open and warm, and communicating that, hey, everything is okay here. You can be whoever you want to be. So it has been a challenging part to be completely honest. And now like switching the thought again into present, and we're like, okay, oh my god, what can we actually do? Like, can we go back to presence, and can we touch? Can we hug? But it's, I think, even more excited that we got to know a lot of the people in our club, and also like community-wise, people who are not in our club, digitally or through, I don't know, Teams or whatever, or Instagram, and now maybe seeing them in person. It's just a nice, kind of like an icebreaker, I think, already. So it's not super awkward when you meet. So it has like its perks and its advantages and disadvantages.
All right. And yeah, you just said it was the whole adaptation period to come back to presential, activities. Can you tell me what the club is planning for the future now? What can people expect?
A lot. I mean, our motivation and everything we do is to be present, to be seen. So I think most of our initiatives, the underlying assumption or the underlying motivation of it is to be seen and to be present on campus, so people know that we're there. I'm missing the word, but what we have, I don't know, we have so many workshops. We had a workshop with a corporation, Merck, which went very well in the cooperation with Nova Women in Business. So definitely those kind of things will be more present. Then we want to do educating things. We have an allyship workshop where everyone can participate, where you learn, what does it actually mean to be an ally of the LGBTQ community? What can I do? What shouldn't I do? What can I say? What shouldn't I say? And also we do tours in Lisbon for everyone, LGBT or not. So it's just really connecting and I said it, I think the fourth time now, but be seen. Be visible, exactly. It's just, I think, and also, I don't know if that's a positive thing for a lot of people, but we do a lot of things, we have the idea on a Wednesday, and then, we need to get this done by next Friday. So we're at the moment very spontaneous, but I think that's the nice thing about it, that ideas come up and then we just implement them, or we try to implement them. So just stay tuned.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna do more for our club itself. So as we already said, it was really hard to bond within the club and to have this sense of belonging. And I think this semester we want to force this as well, so that the community and that club itself really sticks together. Because as we are leaving after this semester, we have to have people that follow us and that take the lead after us. And I think that's something we really focus on this semester as well. And we will have some merch, so we're gonna have our visibility within the community by wearing our own merch. So that's gonna be cool as well.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Very excited to see what the club has in store for the future. I think I got everything I wanted to ask you guys. Thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers, our listeners, our audience? Final thoughts, advices, what you like the most about this club, anything you want.
Oh my god, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I just would say follow us on Instagram, make us visible by liking our stuff and sharing it.
Click subscribe.
It's actually really educating. I'm still every time surprised that I still learn something. It's actually really cool. And I think just if you want to do something, just take ownership of it and do it. I mean, Nova is super open. This community needs support, but if you have other topics that you want to address, just go for it. And I think we'd never regret this decision. Actually, we're really proud. I mean, we're sitting here having a podcast. I never thought about that a year ago.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, I think my thoughts. God, do we have enough time? No. I just think that, again, coming back to one of your questions, this and everyone listening or seeing it, to be very aware of how important this is for some people that you maybe don't see, or they don't want you to see them, being either closeted or not open about themselves. Just want to let everyone know that we are here as a club, that they can, or you can, reach out. There are still resources at the university. There are local resources, and this is the most important thing. I think I speak for the both of us. Is the most important thing why we did this is to encourage everyone who is closeted, who does not feel comfortable at the moment, convey the message that it's okay. We are here. I think we've all been there, and there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. to make it very poetic, and to the first step is always to reach out. I think if you really don't feel comfortable and you don't know what to do, reach out to anybody you see who is present in this club, or as I said, to local resources. And yeah, I think that's it.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for coming today.
you.
It was a very nice talk. And this was the first episode of the podcast Color Coded. Thank you for listening.
First try, it was good.
For God's sake, this is so hot.